Well, it has not been a great week for Bungie. Pretty much exactly 7 days ago, they laid off about 220 staff. And that is not to mention the employees that were also moved from Bungie to Sony, as well as the about 100 employees that were laid off late last year. Yeah, things just haven't been the greatest for them recently, and they've even been getting called out. A lot of people have said that their CEO, I guess, has had some very frivolous spending as of recent. Like in his personal life, he's bought some sports cars, and yeah, people didn't take too kindly to that, obviously, because hundreds of his employees have been laid off recently. Now, Bungie, if you didn't know, they've pretty much been focusing on Destiny for roughly the past decade, like the past 10 years now, has just been Destiny. I know before that they were all about Halo. But yeah, the past decade now with Destiny and then Destiny 2 has seemed to have gone well. Overall, I think Destiny has been a great franchise for them. Now, about 2 years ago is when things kind of changed at Bungie. It seems like their game plan kind of changed. So in 2022, they got bought out by Sony, and in 2023, they announced a brand new FPS called Marathon. Now, this is actually based on a trilogy of FPS shooters that Bungie actually made before Halo in the mid-90s. So this Marathon was supposed to be a sort of revival of the Marathon trilogy back in the 90s. Now, I remember this trailer dropping about a year ago, and a lot of people really loved it, including myself. I thought it looked really cool. And maybe it will be cool, I don't know. That's kind of the problem. See, the game has not dropped, and it doesn't seem like it's going to drop anytime soon. So originally, I guess the release year was supposed to be 2024. Now, I guess reportedly that has been pushed back to 2025. Now, keep in mind, this was reported a while back before all of this chaos kind of unfolded at Bungie. Now, what is unfortunate, albeit obvious probably, is that these recent mass layoffs at Bungie, well, this has hurt the progress of Marathon, reportedly. So there was a recent podcast episode of a podcast called Friends Per Second. Now, there was a Bloomberg reporter by the name of Jason Schreier that was on this podcast, and he had some insider information on how things have been going with Marathon at Bungie, and it does not sound good at all. Yeah, he said things are not going good for Marathon, and he says that people he has been talking to at Bungie are pessimistic about the project. He used the word pessimistic. I think that's interesting. It seems like the whole mood there has just probably not been the greatest as of recent. And he said, yeah, the whole project, everybody's kind of pessimistic about it, and they are even not quite sure that they are going to hit the revised 2025 release year. Okay, now actually what is kind of interesting about this, I kind of read this again, is that it sounds like Jason Schreier actually said specifically that this information that everything was pessimistic about this project, this information was actually obtained before the very recent mass layoffs at Bungie, you know, before the layoffs of 220 employees. That is very interesting. So, I mean, to me, if things were pessimistic before, and if they didn't think they were going to hit their release year or their release date before, yeah, I'm sure things are not looking good at all now. That is, yeah, definitely sad to hear, especially because, like I said, myself and a lot of other people have really thought that this game, Marathon, it looked very cool. I think it still does have great potential. I just don't know when we're gonna get it. But it might not just be the delayed release window that is the problem. Jason Schreier also talked about the actual development of this game, and talked about the marketing trends with it, and actually compared it to the recent Suicide Squad game, the Kill the Justice League game, which was like the biggest flop of this year. It was terrible. So to make that comparison, yeah, according to Jason Schreier, not only is this game going to get delayed even further, but when it comes out, it might be looking about the same as the Suicide Squad game. Now, I have to also say, there's a lot of time for Bungie to change this, to improve on things. I'm a big quality over quantity guy, you know. I say, hey, if you have to delay projects in order to make it better, so be it. I mean, they already have Destiny as the live service sort of game that's kind of fueling them profit-wise. So maybe they can take their time with it. I don't know. I mean, push it back to 2026, maybe 2027. Do what they can with the employees that they have, and I don't know, take their time and make this a great game. I really, really hope that this does not flop like the Suicide Squad game. Things just are not looking good at Bungie right now, but like I said in the video a week ago when I talked about it, they can recover. They absolutely can recover. We'll just have to see if they do.